let's call our meeting to order. I don't know if you should be doing that, Nicole, as our chair, or if we are electing a new chair.
Whatever you want. I feel like you did a great job calling the meeting to order.
Perfect. Good. We are in order then to have a discussion on the fiscal year 27 elected officials salary schedule. Within the packet, actually, let's just go back. We have a new member, Tiffany. Here has joined us. Reen reinstated her term for 2 years, and then Tiffany replaced Eric Harrison's position. So she will be with us for the next 2 years. And we appreciate your willingness to serve on the board and ask any questions you have. And we encourage open discussion here and settle on a decision together.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Just, I guess right off the bat, are there any questions about the documents provided? You guys have had them since last
Can I ask a question? Is Reen not?
I don't know. I don't. She is not
Okay.
here at the moment, but we do have a quorum because there's 4 of you guys out of the 5 will be virtual. So
I'll text her.
I don't even have my phone. So, any questions? Do we want to go through the document? There's just a few pages there, so I don't mind just pushing through the pages.
Yeah, that'd be great.
This first one is just the ORS, which discusses duties of the county's compensation board. Just discusses how they shall meet annually to recommend a schedule for the county elected officials. We usually meet this time of season right before budget, and oftentimes the increase of the rate chosen here is what's used across the board for our represented and non-represented employees. This letter that comes from Judge Patnode is just a state of the county's finances. Really nothing has changed aside from these SIP agreements. Shepherd Flat project falling off in a year.
I only had one question in regards to that.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of the county budget is made up of the SIP agreements as they stand today with the expiring, the waste management host fees, and any other monies coming in other than tax revenue?
Okay, so the 3 sources of income are property taxes, which you can see in the, which you didn't ask about property taxes, but they're approximately $4 million, which support the general fund. SIP funds essentially are all given to other entities through grants, so we've never relied on those. And then waste management, again, those are all towards economic development, and the only portion that supports Gilliam County operations is 15.5% to the road department. So when that SIP project rolls off Shepherd's Flat and rolls into whole property tax, projections from the assessor's office, which the disclaimer here is there are a lot of variables, but it looks like our tax revenue could double.
Thank you.
Or 85 to 90%. So it looks very good. We have other development that will be coming on as well. A pilot solar project will happen in that same tax year, and then some other projects on the horizon.
So will those other projects go into a SIP, or will that go into a tax revenue?
The other projects that we're talking about will be SIPs.
Okay, so
Yes.
that grant money is still
Well,
available.
it's
somewhat.
possible. It depends on, these projects actually have to come to fruition.
Right.
Just because an agreement is negotiated or there's one proposed, they actually have to break ground. So I don't like to make any promises until that happens.
But it could impact grant opportunities in the county.
It could. I know that Sherman County is a good example for the projects that are rolling off and rolling into taxes and how they managed that. They wanted to see some data and see that tax revenue actually come in before any dollars were committed. So I think we need to just, it's a transition time from these agreements to property taxes, and how's that actually gonna look. And I think we really need to look at, once we receive it in our coffers, then we can start looking at how that splits out between our general fund and what we may have in excess.
questions there? Next is the supervised staff for the elected officials. The only thing that's currently changed was recently in the sheriff's department, the emergency management coordinator split. So now they have, instead of having a full-time position, which technically was always still part of their department, that's not changing this on this page. No, I lied. And the addition of the admin assistant underneath the county judge. The next page is the comparables. These are the same data we have provided the last several years. The only entity I wasn't able to get in contact with prior to providing you guys this documentation was Clocatat. Fiscal year numbers. Green is just kind of what we're comparing, so you can see the comparables that are in this bottom left box. Our one is from the green boxes at top, and then the green boxes on the right are just the budget and populations. Any questions or discussion on the County full-time salary equivalent, which is this fiscal year's salary compared to the average comparables?
This is just I think more of a comment, or to confirm. The commissioners in those other areas are closer to full-time than ours, I'm assuming, based on the dramatic difference.
Some of them, if they listed the FTE, I put it into their salaries. If they didn't list their FTEs in their salary schedules, they're at that. So not all the commissioners are that way. Like, I think that the commissioners, like in Sherman County, you're seeing that it's this nearly the same range as their other elected officials, but they are an FTE, but that wasn't shared, I guess, on that documentation that I received, so I just left it at what their salary schedule shows. That makes sense. Because the way we propose it is we show the FTE on the salary schedule, like to that level. They still make the same amount of money, the same salary schedule as the other elected officials. Our salary schedule just shows it as an FTE, whereas other counties may show it as that full salary amount, but in the back end, they're only getting an FTE of that salary that's being presented. It's explained appropriately.
The size of our county, I find us very competitive.
The only question that I would have on the commissioner factor is that we seem to be a little closer to Wheeler County rather than Sherman County. I'm not suggesting that we go at the level of Sherman County, but our financial station is closer to Sherman County due to the wind and solar than, unfortunately, for Wheeler. So that might be something to take into consideration for us. Hard to make those kind of recommendations, but we're probably a little low on that end. I don't know are the commissioners, are they working 4 days a week, five days a week in Gilliam County?
No.
It depends. It varies.
Yeah.
I know.
Would you consider it a full-time job?
No.
Could it be a full-time job?
I think if you were to spend a lot of time in Salem, possibly, but
Who would want to do that?
There's a reason we live here.
I'm not volunteering for that.
Okay.
Like I say, I
think that what you're seeing there for as far as that disparity is that Sherman County's budget is showing it as that equivalency to the other elected officials, but they are only, I think, 0.6 FTE. They're not full-time FTE in Sherman County.
I see.
So their salary is technically lower, but the way that Sherman County presents their salary schedules is at that
level.
full level, but in the back.
So you just took.
So if our commissioners are 0.3 of our elected officials.
Mm-hmm.
So I could put it in our commissioner levels that equivalency to the other elected officials, but
Mhm.
it's always been done at 0.3 of the elected officials. Because that's what they're FTE. So they are competitively at Sherman County's commissioners. They're just at a different FTE than Sherman County's commissioners.
Thank you for that clarification.
So that would put, like, if that's their low end at Sherman at a 0.6 FTE would put them about that 50 range. Which, and if you wanted to go back and kind of do it, you know, take 80, what is it, 83,520 times 0.3, which is about what we are, then put them about 25,000.
Okay.
So I think our range, considering it's a 0.3, is probably
Probably
fairly similar.
Okay.
And the whole, like the amount of FTE, the 0.3 or whatever, if the court thought that the commissioners should be more than 0.3, that would be a court's decision, not our decision. Is that right?
That's not something we could decide today.
Yeah.
But if it was, that would be a discussion to be had at the county court.
And Grant, you feel like 3 is accurate?
But I think
I would say most are just going,
Yeah,
yeah, I understand.
that's my.
if there was ever a time where there was a change that, I think a recommendation could come from the compensation board to review that, but it would be a decision that would be made. The next page is the CPI for December 2025. As highlighted yellow is our class, and then on the far right underneath the percent change is the December 2025, which is showing 2.5. Following page is the proposed salary schedule with a 3.5% CPI increase.
And does the 3.5 match what the union's getting for this period or
Often
year?
utilize what's set here at the elected officials meeting to
Drive.
drive the decision made for the CPI for the represented and unrepresented positions. In the union handbook, it is anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5. Not to say that 3.5 is the max. You just can't go below 2.5.
So the decision hasn't been made yet for what
No.
the staff will get.
This meeting comes first, and then from there, it drives what I propose to the budget committee, which will be in April.
And over history of time, it's been consistent.
I think there was one year that the elected officials received more than the rest of them.
Less, I think it's
Less than the rest of them, excuse me.
Yeah.
The elected officials received less than the represented and non-represented employees, but other than that, it has been consistently the same.
And if this money is going to move into that tax bracket, there should be no problem compensating appropriately. If the Shepherd's Flat goes into that tax base.
The 2 pages after this is the salary schedule that's current, so if you wanted to compare them side by side to see. And the elected officials goes from 90 to 92, the high end goes from nearly 106 to 109. And then the following salary schedules are just this current year fiscal year's represented, non-represented, and checks off the salary schedules for comparison. Here we'll just reiterate as well that prior to 2 fiscal years ago, fiscal year 24, or private speaking. The salary schedules were based off of the sheriff and judge's salaries, but that, I think, last compensation, that kind of went out the window. That just meant like the elected officials are no longer a percentage of the judge, because I think that was how it was set up, was that everything was a percentage of the judge's salary, but within the last 2 years, that is adjusted. So that's no longer the process. Anybody remembers it that way. And then that was last year's recommendation. Was the increase in the base pay.
So what's on our plate right now is whether or not we do the 3.5
Yep, that's the only
CPI
proposal.
for the next fiscal part.
Yes.
I think before we deliberate, do we get elected official comments? Is that right? Or do we talk through it first?
Any elected official comments or public comment? Online? No. Carrie or Leah? You have any comments? No. That's the time to unmute yourself. Okay. 4.0 is public comment. I think I missed a spot to appoint the chair. I think that's on there somewhere that we.
Nicole, if you're willing, so moved.
I'll keep on going.
Railroad.
Right. Having a public comment or elected official comments, then we would move forward to 5, which is consider recommendations. And then any committee concluding comments.
Okay, so the recommendation on the table is the 3.5% CPI increase.
Yes.
Any discussion?
Sounds entirely appropriate for me. To me. I second that. So if you needed an official motion, Nicole.
Okay, Erin moved and Tiffany seconded. Any further discussion before we vote? All right, all those in favor of the 3.5% increase, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
This has been the most efficient compensation board meeting I've ever attended.
Perfect.
Well, it's all the work you've done prior to get us all ready to go.
Your years of guidance.
Yes, between you and Brooklyn, the rest of us just kind of show up.
Yes. Any committee concluding comments?
Thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Thank you for taking the time to help us do this. Our communication with other counties is we are in an enviable position financially. And with that comes benefits, and sometimes it creates conflict. So I appreciate this discussion today, and thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll be in contact next January. Just kidding. You guys can come to any and all meetings there. We will have a committee meeting in April. So.
Oh, Reen's here.
Oh, happy.
Green. Yes, it was 8:30. We're just adjourning.
It's great timing.
Thank you.
Shoot, sorry.
No worries. We had our quorum.
Okay,
Yep.
We had,
so I can leave?
we're done.
Well, there's county court left, so there's
You
still
want to know
seven.
what happened?
Yeah.
I will officially adjourn the meeting and discussion can
Nicole.
continue.
Thank you.
The only vote, Breen, that we had was whether or not to do a